Hi guys, so this is my first video on the marathon training that I'm doing. So this is London Marathon week 1. Basically the things I'm going to be going through, like I said, I'll do the videos on a weekly basis, like a video diary. Basically what I'm going to be doing is just telling you the runs I'm going out doing, the mileage, the times, my average times. I've worked out some average times, my eating, so what sort of amounts of carbs I'm having, how many protein and why and stuff like that. So I'll be going through everything over the videos. One thing I will say is if you have any questions or anything like that, just give me drop a message, and what I'll do is the questions I get, I'm going to put them onto a piece of paper. In the next video I will answer those questions. Okay, so it just adds to the next couple of videos. So yeah, just any questions regarding fitness. So this is obviously training for the marathon, but you can take little things from these videos and add them in any sort of running training and stuff like that. So it's not just for the marathon. Okay, and one thing, this is basically my program. I know you can get marathon or running plans that people have done off the internet, but this is purely what I'm doing. This is just how I train. This is what I do. So this is just my training basically. So this is nothing off the internet. So if you want to take little bits from it, that's absolutely fine, and just add them into your sort of training. So basically what I do is I'll start off with the first one that I did, and why and stuff. The first one that I did, I racked up, if I just have a look, it was 3.1 miles in my first one. And basically where I've just recently moved to this new area, I'm not familiar with the surroundings and where you can run and stuff like that. So basically I just went out my door and ran, and I was planning on running 2 to 3 miles for the first one, and so when I felt that that's how far I'd run, I pretty much just then turn it around and come back home, and lucky enough it was 3.1 miles, which I did in 23 minutes and 9 seconds, which is okay. Like, it was a good time. The thing is, with all my first runs, when I go out and do these treks again, I'm going to be looking to beat that time. That's just how I train, and I will always go out and try and beat the time when I do the same sort of thing. So that's just, it's good that I've written it down, because now I know, and I will go out and beat that time. That's just how I train. Then the second run I did was I went out again and I tried to go somewhere different. I didn't want to do the same run after the first day, and this one ended up being 5 miles. So I did 5 miles in 42 minutes. So another pretty same averages times there. It's 42 minutes and 15 seconds. So when I worked out the averages, it's coming out about 8 minutes and 13 seconds a mile. So that's pretty good. I'd like to be down 8 minutes just below, because my time I'm trying to aim for in the marathon is about 3 hours and 30 minutes and below. That's just me. That's what I've set myself to challenge myself. Like 3 hours and 30 minutes, I'll be happy with that. Anything lower than that, I'll be extremely happy. I don't think I can beat the 3 hours, although I'd love to, and I will train as hard as I can, and I'll rack up the miles and as quick as I can. That would be a really good challenge for myself to sort of set. But 3 hours 20, I'll be extremely happy. So that's sort of what I'm going for. So I need to be then, my average miles need to be around about sort of 7 minutes 30 off the top of my head, roughly around that. So that's where I'll be looking to get my sort of training standard to. My third mile that I did in the week come up at 4 miles 6 minutes, which was in 4 miles and 4.6 miles, and I did that in 37 minutes and 48 seconds. So I think that works out a little bit slower or faster than the 5 mile that I did. But those were the only 3 runs I did in the week, because basically, a little bit of background of my run, I'm used to running 2-3 miles. I do that sort of 2 times a week anyway. When I found out I got into the marathon, I actually stopped running for about a month and a half. That was probably around the Christmas period, but that was just for me, because I wanted to start marathon training, and how I'm documenting it now, I wanted it all to be fresh and me just starting to run again. So this is all after about a month and a half break from running. I still exercise and stuff like that with my TRX and stuff, but as for running, this was the first, and this was done. My first run was done on January the 2nd, so that's when I started me running. So yeah, so my average miles at the moment 8 minutes. So I'm going to get that down, and that's just what I'm going to do every time I go out and do these runs. Now I'm going to be beating them. I'll probably for the second week we'll probably do roughly these same miles, and then I'll start slowly increasing it again. One thing, I am using sort of like apps on my phone where it tracks your running. So I've downloaded a few of them that people recommended on my Facebook page, and basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use them all every time I go out and running, every other one. And then I could just do like a little, basically a review, or if you've got any questions on them, or if you've even got one that I might not even mention right now, which the ones I've got is Runkeeper, Sports Tracker, and Runwatch. They're the three that I'm using, and I can just give little reviews. Basically, the first couple of runs I used Runkeeper, which I thought was pretty good. It told me the distance, my time, worked out the averages, and because I had my earphones in when you listen to music when I was running, it actually gave me an update every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes it told me how far I'd gone and my average, so it just gave me a quick update of that, and then my music come back on basically. So I thought that was pretty good. So that's just the first app that I used. If you've got any questions on them, just fire away and I'll be happy to answer them. In terms of the foods, I've written down with a little bit of research with this, just basically sort of how many carbs I'm going to be having a day in terms of in grams. So basically my runs at the moment are between 30 and 45 minutes, or just below actually. I'm doing 3 to 4 grams per kilo for my times by my kilograms in weight. So at the moment when I weighed myself, I weighed 11.2 stone. Okay, so I don't actually want to lose weight while I'm running. I know you can, especially with the amount of training you have to do for the marathon, especially when you get into the longer miles. So I'm increasing what I'm eating, that's including my protein. So my protein at the moment I'm doing at 1.6 per kilogram. Okay, so just times that by my kilograms, and that's giving me sort of around about 120 grams of protein a day. My carbs is coming out about 240 grams a day. Okay, that was based on 30 to 45 minutes of running, and I've worked out 45 to 60 minutes, 60 to 75, 75 to 90, 90 minutes to 120, and then 120 plus. So I'm in the highest mode. So when I'm at 120 plus, I'll be sort of doing 8 to 10 grams of carbs per my body weight. So it's going to be a lot of food, but I don't want to personally lose weight. So I'm going to be eating sort of, you could probably look and say I'm probably eating going to be eating sort of 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day to maintain my weight. So that's going to be a challenge in itself, but it's going to be good. It's worth it. I really always wanted to run the marathon. I used to be a runner when I was younger, doing cross country events and stuff like that. Although I've never really run more than sort of 6 miles. So when I get to that sort of standard again, how I'm going to feel afterwards, it's all going to be new to me, so I can track that and let you know. But basically, with that, if you want that sort of little sort of category thing that I've just written down in terms of how many grams of carbs, and you're sort of interested in that, just drop us a text saying that, and I'll be happy to send it across to you on my YouTube channel or my Facebook fitness page, which is James Waggitt, Inspiring Fitness Personal Trainer. Just like that, I put tips on that and that. But yeah, you could just ask me, and I'll send that across. So yeah, so in terms of the running, it's not specific. Well, it's specific to me basically, but that's not to say that you can't take anything from it and add it into your own training. Okay, so any questions, anything, please just ask, and in the next video, week 2, I will basically answer those questions for you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. But I think the training is going to be the biggest challenge, racking up those miles and getting out there and running when it's certainly the weather changes and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, so that's just basically my first week. So I just basically just cut it down short, going out running, roughly trying to get about 2 to 3 miles. I know I've done 5, but it's just a little bit longer. So if we say 2 to 5 miles for the first week, I think that's a good sort of standard. 3 times a week. I'm going to look to increase that probably to 4 times a week, and then as I go increase my miles, probably around about 10 miles plus, I'll be looking to probably bring that down to about 3 times a week, maybe even 2. And I'm also going to be looking to do Pacific runs on a Sunday morning to match that of what the marathon day is. Marathon is on a Sunday morning, so I want to be training my body to be getting up on a Sunday and basically going out running long distances, so it gets used to that. So it's specific to the marathon. Okay, I think that's quite essential. and quite a good tip to take if if you're gonna that's in any sport you do. Keep it specific. So and that's the day. Okay, everyone. There's people out there that say they're strange Mondays or whatever. So train on a Sunday if you're running for the marathon, because it's a good idea. Basically, my opinion. And that's just what these are. This is just all my opinion, and basically how I think my body can train and stuff like that. So to cut it short, keep with 2 to 5 miles, track your times, do that again, and try and beat times. Training like me. That's just how I do it. Beat them times. When I'm happy with the times I'm beating, so hopefully my average times would be at 8 minutes a mile and below, then I'll start increasing the miles and doing the same thing, running as fast as I can, then dropping the average time, and that's just how I'm going to do it. So yeah, any questions, just feel free to ask me on my Facebook page, and I will get to you and send that out if you need that sort of carb intake information. But yeah, thank you for watching. This is my first video on the marathon training, so I look forward to seeing you on my second one. Okay, take care, bye.